Hello, everyone. Welcome to EdTech with jReb. I'm Javier Radagliati, and I'm here to speak with you about video mini lessons. How can we integrate video into our classroom effectively? Before we get started, don't forget that you can connect with me via X, formerly called Twitter, or you can also visit my website, jreb.me, where you can find out all the ways I can help you with getting smarter interactions with technology in education. So let's get started. Video mini lessons, tech integration strategies for teachers. The first thing I want you to ask yourself is, why video? Why do you want to use video in your classroom? Why do you want to integrate video content into your classroom? What is your motivation? Maybe is that you just want to use videos. You've heard people use videos and it's going great for them. Maybe you want to use more technology, integrate more technology into your classroom. Maybe you know that videos can increase engagement uh, from the students with the content, and you want to try it out for yourself. Or maybe you just want to mix things up and try something new. Uh, with this last one, that makes me think about this buzzword we always hear in education, which is innovation. As educators, we're constantly reflecting on how has it gone in the past, like what we have lived through in our lessons, how the unit was planned, how the course went, how our classroom management was, and we always try to improve our teaching practice. When it comes to technology, we have to learn how to use these new elements um, the right way, or at least in the most efficient way we can do it. So, innovation for innovation's sake can hinder learning. I've seen teachers try to just add as many new things they can into their classrooms, and it can backfire. So, we have to be very conscious of what we're using and why we're using it. With that in mind, I want you to ask yourself, is there a right way to use videos in the classroom? I'm sure there are certainly lost opportunities when it comes to using videos in the classroom. And maybe some ways where using video can make a mess in your class. You can get the students can um, become rowdy when they're watching a video that has nothing to do with your content or something like that. So videos have the potential to make your class a bit more difficult, but they also have the potential to make your class awesome and have students engage with content better than you expected. But thinking about one right way, I just let you be the judge of that. My recommendation, as with everything in education, is be intentional. Educators, for me, are designers. We are designers of learning experiences. So, as every designer, we have to be very conscious of the choices we're making for our students. How we're designing our lessons um, is very important and has a great impact in terms of what will they learn and how they will learn it. In terms of videos, in terms of integrating videos into your classroom, I have three recommendations. Consider the objective of using a specific video. What are you using a video for? We're going to go over some possible objectives you may have and that you will want to think about before your lesson. Ensure quality content, not only in terms of form, like how nice the video looks in terms of production value. Don't don't worry too much about that, and worry more about what it said in the video, what content you're sharing through video with your students. And also You can leverage the opportunity for deeper learning when you're using video. You can add questions, notes, links, either embedded in the video so that students, as they're watching the video, they get a message with a question that makes them think a bit deeper about the content they just watched. Or you can also do it after the students watch the video. In any case, spend some time taking advantage of the video's content and make your students think about what they just watched to deepen their understanding. So let's go into some use cases. Keep in mind possible objectives for using a video in your class. For our first case, let's say your objective is to replace direct instruction with video content. This can be done partially or fully. I personally am not a fan of lecture type lessons where the teacher stands in front of the class the whole period just sharing information. I'm not a fan of that. Sure, direct instruction is necessary and it has its moments. But what if you mix things up during your lesson with some video content that can make the process of learning the content more engaging for your students? When you're using video to replace direct instruction, you have a couple of scenarios. One is you're sharing a video with the whole class. You're next to your desk or next to the screen from the projector, and everyone in the class is watching the same screen. This video, I recommend it should be short. And it should be constrained to one idea. You want to extend on that idea with direct instruction after the class has finished watching the video. But this type of content should be thought-provoking. It should work as an introduction to a lesson. I've seen teachers use video in front of classes for, I don't know, maybe 8 minutes. That's too long for our students nowadays. But think about, for example, the definition of a new term you're introducing in today's lesson, or a piece of news report that says something that relates to your lesson, and you're going to use that material during today's lesson. That could be a good example of showing one video in one screen to the whole class. Another option, of course, is to assign the videos individually and have the students watch them on their own. This gives you the advantage of it's self-paced. The students can move forward in their own time. They can do it either in class or at home. This is what it's called the flipped classroom approach, where you're sharing content as homework. Students only have to watch the content. And when they're in class, you use that time to extend the learning, to practice through some activities, to start a project, and to solve questions, of course. I want to share an example of a tool that has ready-made video content, which is BrainPop. BrainPop is a tool that has content ready for you to use, and it doesn't only have videos. As you can see here, this is a screenshot I have. This is where the video would go. You would see here the controls. And you can share this video with your students, assign it via Google Classroom or whatnot, or the LMS you're using, the system you're using. The good thing about BrainPop is not only their videos, but also the assignments that they have, the activities that they have related to the same video. So based on the content of that video, the students can go take a quiz, do a challenge, do some coding, and maybe play a game that expands on the content of the video itself. So let's go to our next use case. What if you want to share a video to differentiate content or process. Differentiation is a great objective to have for when you use video. Um, so let's get into how to differentiate the content, the what the students are learning with video. Um, for example, you can assign different video to different students through your system or Google Classroom. You can assign a specific type of video to a group of students that need to know a bit more about a specific topic. Or maybe you have two videos that are different in format and you think one is going to be more engaging with one group of students and the other one is going to be better for another group of students. Another option, of course, is to have a slightly different version of a video to reinforce prior knowledge. Let's say you have found a great long video on what is a linear equation that then moves on to graphing linear equations. When you're talking about the regular lesson, the lesson that you're focusing on only making graphs of linear equations, you would shorten that video and only share the part about making the graphs, right? But if you want to reinforce the prior knowledge of a group of students or a couple of students, you can use the same video but without trimming the beginning. You know what I mean? You can have the full video shared to differentiate the needs of your students. Now, let's talk a bit about the how, the process of the students learning. What if you use video for that? This can be an alternative to reading an article. And also consider your class. Sometimes some students will respond differently to consuming content through video. Last semester, I had two groups of 8th grade students, and one class was great with video content. They loved it. They were very engaged. They went through the whole content very engaged. They were answering questions, and they really got the information that I wanted to share with them. The other group, however, it didn't go so well for them. They weren't they were tired of so many videos. It was an experimental class that I made only with video and questions and activities to expand on the video's content, but it was mainly watching videos and thinking about the content that they absorbed with that. One group liked it, the other one didn't. So you have to consider your group of students. You know them better than anyone. So consider how they would respond, they would respond to watching video in your class. Then a couple of example tools I wanted to share here are Nearpod and Newsela. Nearpod is a platform that allows you to share presentations and videos with your students, and they have already made content also that you can quickly assign to your students, and you can look for specific type of content that you want in their library. Newsela, on the other hand, also has a lot of content in their platform. They're mostly articles, but they have a couple of thousand videos on some specific topics that you can quickly share. 2-minute long videos that can help you in your classes. So let's go to our third use case. What if you would like to use video as an activity starter or as a prompt for a project, or maybe clarifying instructions? We have two possible scenarios here. One is if you're using content that has not been made by you, but for the same objective, right? to start an activity. Let's say, for example, for as an intro to an activity, you can share a video on instructions for a science experiment. Or you can also use the video to recall prior knowledge before starting an activity or a project. Going back to the math linear equation example, what if you want to have an activity about graphing linear equations, but the prior knowledge is what is a linear equation, or even what is a variable? So you can have specific videos as a starter there to activate that prior knowledge and have your students be ready to be successful in your activity for the lesson. You can also use video as a research prompt. Think about the US Declaration of Independence, for example. You give a quick snippet of a video, and then you send off your students to do a deeper research based on the video they just watched. The other option, the other scenario is, of course, if you record yourself or your screen. Think about, for example, clarifying instructions or expectations. I very much like detailed text that explain my students what I expect from a specific activity. Of course, a lot of text, no one reads that. But I made the habit of for my students to go through all the instructions and to go back to the instructions. Since it's in text form, it's always going to be there. But sometimes I like to expand on those instructions through a video. So I record myself and my screen, and I go through the instructions, maybe show some examples of what I'm expecting as a result of a specific activity or project. So this type of video is great for clarifying instructions and or expectations. Think also about using different means of representation, thinking about universal design for learning, or also about meeting your students with special needs. Also, another option for this type of video would be to explain your assessment rubric. We love rubrics, right? And they're so useful. Sometimes our student will not look at them. So maybe sharing this information through a video will make your students engage better with the content that you want them to see, which in this case would be the assessment rubric. And a couple of tools that I would like to share with you is Screencastify and Loom. These two are for recording your screen or yourself. Screencastify has a robust system in terms of video content sharing, because it's not only for recording yourself or your screen, but it also allows you to embed questions. You can add some notes, and you can share it through Google Classroom. You can download the video, and it has many options. On the other side is Loom, which basically does the same, and it allows you to record your screen and yourself if you would like to do something as clarifying instructions, for example. And of course, the other two are YouTube, where you can record yourself and upload a video very quickly. You can make some edits inside YouTube. And of course, Edpuzzle, which we have talked about before, where you can add your video or look for ready content, and add questions, notes, and links, etc. So to recap, main thing I would like you to walk away with. In general, be intentional with what you include in your lessons. In terms of using videos for your class, remember, consider the objective of using a specific video. Ensure quality content, that what's being said is relevant and meaningful for your students, for your course, for your particular lesson. And Don't let an opportunity go by in terms of engaging your students for deeper learning. Use questions, notes, links, or at least reflect about the video's content after they've watched the video. A couple of extra pointers. First, there are a couple of other objectives I didn't have time to go over. Extension or remediation content. This is great for using video too. You can have a specific video for a student who finished early or students who need to review previous content. You can share that information through video too. And also, you can model video presentation creation. Sometimes we expect our students to be great when presenting on video instead of in person. And they probably haven't gotten feedback about their video presentations before. So, what if you record yourself doing a model video presentation that they can follow some pointers on? Then, another resource I want to share with you is safeshare.tv. This platform allows you to share links from YouTube or Vimeo without distractions. You know, in YouTube, you have the related videos area, you have ads all over. The platform is designed to keep you there for as long as possible. SafeShare.tv, what it does, it reduces the amount of ads around the video and hides the related videos. Also, you can trim the beginning or the end of the video, um, but you cannot take out a piece in the middle of the video. For that, you would have to edit the video, for example, on Edpuzzle. But you can, with SafeShare, get rid of the beginning and the end and only focus on a specific part of the whole video. You can also build playlists to share with your students. So you can build a bank of videos that you have edited in terms of like trimming the beginning and the end. And you can safely share it with your students so they don't get distracted by everything going on YouTube, for example. And something a bit more personal, I never share a video with my students unless it's through Edpuzzle, because I can see how much of the video have the students actually watched. Maybe I cannot control where the eyes are pointing, but I can see whether the video was played by them. Also, I can see the answers to the questions I've posted or embedded in the video. And I can also share clarifying notes about the content they're seeing, or maybe I want them to pay close attention to a specific piece of information in the video I share. So that's it. This is everything I wanted to share with you in terms of sharing videos with your students during your lessons. As usual, you can connect with me. You can connect with me via Twitter or by going to my website, jreb.me, where you can find out how can I help you to get smarter interactions with technology in education. This is all I got for now. So let's connect and see you next month.